Howdy, I'm Rich Mangiacaro. I'm here with Jimmy Grasso, drummer extraordinaire, a very old friend of mine. We've been together, doing business together for
a long time.
Maybe 25 years.
Oh my, yeah.
Probably,
oh God.
Probably 25 years.
Jeez, it's already starting out bad.
No, I know,
Realize how old we are.
I know, no kidding.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
And we're here actually in Agora, California, at the Canyon Club tonight. And Jimmy's here, about to go on stage with Black Star Riders. So we're here, rapping a little bit. And Jimmy, tell us one of your favorite
a good story. One that we can actually post. Wow, there's so many. You know, it's like it's just funny because, you know, I was recently I teach rock band at a middle school. Sometimes I just volunteer, and they're like, "Tell us a good road story." I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, I really can't tell you any of the stories." It's like, because I'll get in trouble with your parents. But I mean, there's been a lot of memorable events. I mean, there's a lot of oh my gosh, there's so many. I think one of my favorite ones, going back a few years, I was playing with this band, Suicidal Tendencies. Remember that?
Yep.
It's back early mid '90s, and we were touring Australia with Alice in Chains, who were like one of my favorite all-time bands. And the tour was going really well, good guys. And so one night, you know, we played before them, we were opening for them. And so we played our set, and I packed up my bag and, you know, started heading back to the hotel. And the bass player, Mike, pulls me aside. He goes, "Hey man, do you know any of our songs?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" "Well, our drummer's in the hospital in a coma."
Oh.
Apparently, and who I was just hanging with the night before, apparently he fell, and he had some issue where he cut his arm or something like that, and he was allergic to whatever medicine they gave him, whether it was penicillin or something like that. So it made him deathly ill, and he definitely wasn't making the show. And so the promoter was freaking out, and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I might know a song or two." So like, "Oh, well, cool, will you play with us?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, sure, no problem." So we went in the dressing room, and apparently, you know, the band was definitely bummed out because, you know, they got the promoter who's, you know, upset, you know, because you know, he's got to refund money, so on and so forth. And they go, "Do you know what songs?" I'm like, "I look at the set list." I'm like, "Yeah, it should be fine." And they look at me and they're like, No. I mean, you have to know these songs." I'm like, "Yeah, I heard them a couple times on the radio. It should be fine." And they're like, "Yeah, no, let's just jam some Zeppelin tunes and some AC/DC and this like that." I'm like, No, it'll be fine. Let's do the set as it stands."
So they didn't really know your history for being able to like step in.
No.
Like you do, because
No.
you are known for that. I mean, you are
Yeah.
known for being able to step in on a moment's notice.
Yeah.
A couple days' notice, and you're out.
Yeah.
Because you just did that with rap.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like you did a whole bunch of shows with the same kind of
Right. Well,
situation.
and the funny thing is, so they were kind of nervous, I could tell, and, you know, they're like, "No, let's just jam Zeppelin." So anyway, so I said, "Guys, it'll be fine. Let's just go up there and run the set." So we ran the first 3 songs, and their songs had some really interesting rhythmic twists and time things. It would be a bar of 5 here or there and things like that, especially on the Dirt record. Bottom line is, I wouldn't tell them. I was a huge fan. I knew all their songs forward and backwards, but I didn't want to tell them that. So they're like,
right.
After 3 songs, they turned around and they, like, you know, gave me the proverbial dirty look and like, "Okay, thanks for telling us." And it was fine, but it was great because I did the rest of the tour. I would play with Suicidal Tendencies, then basically change T-shirts, go into their dressing room, and join Alice in Chains temporarily for a couple shows. And that's probably one of my favorite times, you know, musically, to get to play with like 2 of my favorite bands,
Right.
like on a tour.
Right.
So do double duty, you know.
Right.
But no, they were a great band, and I was funny because when we started the tour, I was thinking, wow, wouldn't it be cool if I got to sit in on the song, and I wound up doing like the tour.
Yeah.
So, you know, but they're a great band to this day. I just saw those guys over in Download Festival last June. We actually played before them with Black Star Riders.
Right.
So, and they always like, "You're the only guy who's ever played with Alice in Chains besides Sean." I'm like, "Yeah." So it's just, you know. So
Cool.
that's one of my. I mean, I like that stuff because that's the stuff that makes you sort of rise to the occasion,
Absolutely.
you know, and it gets the adrenaline going because you're so scared because you don't want to mess anybody up. So
The fact that they were more nervous about it than you.
they were totally nervous. That's why I just didn't want to cop it that I was such a big fan.
Right.
You know, I'd rather leave them like all nervous, which they were.
Right.
But it was awesome. They were great. I have some of those shows on tape. I should post someday because they were really fun.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
that's one of my clean stories. There's nothing. Keep it going.